Today on Upfront, no May surprise. The latest revenue numbers mean tough decisions for state lawmakers. Next, Superintendent Tony Evers on whether public schools will feel the impact. Then, Republican Congressman Paul Ryan on why he's trying to help the president on trade. And Democratic Congressman Ron Kind on selling new trade deals to skeptics in his own party.
Fast track! Push back! Fast track! Push back!
Covering the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with Mike Boucher.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Upfront. There is no extra money. That's the hard reality state lawmakers now face as they try to craft the next state budget and blunt the $127 million cut Governor Walker proposed for K-12 public education. Lawmakers were hoping new revenue estimates would let them restore the cut. But the estimates released last week remained the same, and now legislative leaders will have to find the money elsewhere. They say they will. We're talking more now about what happens next for public schools with the state's public school superintendent, Tony Evers. Superintendent, it's good to have you back on the program.
Great to be here, Mike. Thank you very much.
So I've heard now from lawmakers, you've heard from lawmakers, they are going to find a way to eliminate this $127 million cut. Do you share that confidence?
I share the confidence of the people of Wisconsin, who I think have really spoken up on this issue. Polls, Marquette University, St. Norbert's, all prior to this this week's issues, saying people support our public schools. They are against cuts, and so I'm glad that the lawmakers have decided. You know, the people of Wisconsin want us to treat our schools fairly. That's great.
Zero gain, though.
Absolutely.
And so that can't be called a victory for public education.
Well, that you know, and that's a concern I have. There's lots of people taking victory laps around the square saying, you know, we're 100% behind public education now. You know, we've seen the polling, but 0% increase is still zero. And I think it's hard to be a hero when you're saying 0% increase. It doesn't cut it. It's not. There should be some room for inflationary increases, and our schools have been really constrained for several biennia now. And so zeros is not a win. Certainly it's better than what it was, but frankly, nothing has changed over the last 6 months. So maybe the budget should have been put in place as 0% to begin with, and we could have worked from there. Now we're working from a place of disadvantage.
Practically speaking, based on what you hear from superintendents around the state, from school board members around the state, what does a 0% budget increase mean for public education in the state?
Cuts. I mean, that's the bottom line. The inflation has increased in just about every piece of their operations, and you know, you can only take money out of teachers' pockets for so long and kind of balance things out. And so there needs to be some increases in compensation, but whether you're busing, whether you're heating a building, whatever, if that costs money, and a 0% increase in both years of the biennium will mean cuts.
Do you think there is any chance that, based on public sentiment out there, that Republican lawmakers will consider not expanding the voucher program in the way originally proposed by the governor, that they will say maybe some of that money should go towards public education rather than towards vouchers?
Well, you know, the governor and some of the leadership in the legislature have talked pretty transparently about their interest in expanding vouchers. I think it's going to be, given the reality of there's no money, no increases out there, I'd suggest that rather than increasing vouchers in the state or payments to the voucher schools, maybe we should fund special education better, fund English language learning better. Both those areas have been frozen for the last 2 bienniums, and so I think there's better places for money. It's a limited pot. So if money is going to be put into the voucher program, that's not money that can be going to traditional public schools. I know that's kind of heresy for some people, but there is a limited pot.
Do you sense there's any Republican support for what you just described?
I think so, but not much. I'm very concerned that we're taking victory laps on 0%, and people are going to feel pretty good about that. But there still will be cuts. So will it be less cuts than it would have been before? Absolutely, but it'll still be cuts.
The argument that you hear sometimes from state lawmakers is that if things are so bad, if the cuts are so terrible, why is our graduation rate climbing? just released last week. We're up a little bit again
Right.
in this state. There are some performance measurements that seem to be pretty good right now.
Yeah.
But I hear you saying that's not necessarily the whole story.
Well, that's certainly not the whole story. We still have largest achievement gaps in the United States, which we must feel, frankly, great shame about. We need to make some improvements there. But these changes, these high rankings, it's not going to take long for us to get in a position where we're going to be slipping down. Those changes and those declines won't be seen overnight. We need to maintain and expand what we're doing well in this state, and not kind of holding our breath that we're going to always be second in the ACT or whatever. That I can guarantee you, over a period of time, that's going to be a problem. Also, the canary in the mine for me is that we're sending a signal to our schools. You know how you fix this? You go to referendum. And we have about 60 to 70% success rate there, which is great. But to me, that's a canary in the mine. That means 20 or 30 or 40% are not passing a referendum. And it's going to be very quickly that we're going to be a state of haves and have-nots. And frankly, if we don't kind of think through that, that's going to be litigated instead of legislated, because how can you maintain equity? That's a constitutional responsibility if the only way you can kind of get ahead is to convince local folks they got to pony up more money. It's a state responsibility.
Do you think litigation is possible?
I think it is absolutely. First of all, we have difficulty keeping up with the requirements around English learners and special ed kids and kids with disabilities. But now we're talking about just basic equity issues, and if we rely on referenda, we will be inequitable very, very quickly, and that will lead to litigation. I'm confident in that.
Superintendent of Schools in Wisconsin, Tony Evers, we appreciate your time. Thanks very much for being with us today.
You bet.
Governor Walker on Friday dropped his plans to merge some state agencies, including the troubled Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation with WEDA. You can keep on top of all the developments with the budget by following the budget blog kept by our editorial partner, WisPolitics.com. Coming up next, Congressman Paul Ryan pushing for greater trade authority for the president. His answer to critics who say trade deals have hurt cities like Janesville. That's when Up Front continues.
Up Front with Mike Goucher, brought to you by the American Transmission Company.